I got a chance.
Opportunity, promotion, blah, blah. You know, those are just words.
Words. All I have to offer is words. Just words.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
What's going on, my beautiful people? On this beautiful Saturday on Halloween weekend.
Oh, that's right. Halloween weekend.
Coño, mira. Yo,
Monday.
It's on Monday.
I forgot it's on Monday. That's right.
It's on
Happy
Monday.
Halloween.
I forgot my
Happy
costume.
Halloween.
Are you guys getting dressed?
Oh,
We went out last night.
we went.
Where did you go?
We went on the boat.
We went on a what is it? Halloween Latino weekend or
Yeah.
week night bash on a boat.
I
is
usually
its own story.
do my due diligence and choose the hip hop reggae parties.
Of course.
You know, like it's just the thing, and I'm gonna say I messed up. I went down the Latino path.
It was disappointing.
And
It was, unfortunately.
It was.
Why?
It wasn't disappointing. It just lived up to the expectations that I had put in my head of it being what it was advertised to be. And by Latino, it was nothing but Bad Bunny the entire fucking night.
That can be
They
too
did play
much.
some merengue
And then
some salsa.
they
at
threw
the
in
end.
a splash of
splash of
Just like a
merengue.
little splash.
and then they threw it back. They gave me like a Fulanito track, if y'all remember Fulanito.
Oh my God, Fulanito! That was a
And then the recording.
Fulanito's around the same time of Vico C, right?
Yeah.
Damn, Vico
Yes.
C.
Remember that?
I used to be in Puerto Rico listening to Vico C.
I don't know this song.
Oh my
If I would
God.
have had like a sound bank line,
Yeah,
though.
he
pero-
is very old school.
Before we get into all those deep, beautiful conversations, let me get into who we got on deck today. We got my main brother, my man, Dre Drizzy on deck.
We're going
Dre Drizzle.
We're going Dre Drizzle.
Dre Drizzle.
What's going on? What's going on?
Because you reminded me that Drake is called Drizzy, and
Yeah.
I clearly don't know.
Oh,
He got
copyright.
everything. He got everything. He got everything.
So Drizzle, we're gonna go with Drizzle. How's your weekend been so far?
It's been alright. I had a photo shoot yesterday. shout out to Roger. I had a photo shoot yesterday. So
I gave him his first photo shoot.
yeah.
And
I can't wait to see the photos.
yeah, me too. I've been waiting all since last night. I didn't even sleep. I'll send it to you. I was in the cab like, where's they at?
It's checking your phone.
Hey, they gotta go through Photoshop. I gotta talk to management about it.
The editing team needs to look at it.
What was that?
These are your pictures?
Oh no, yeah, exactly. I gotta give him headshots. Now he's
Yeah.
gonna be part of the crew and the team.
Yeah.
So I'm just
Fancy
like,
stuff.
Fancy stuff. Yeah, so.
I heard there was a professional version and then there was a dating profile version.
yeah, it's only
so
right, though.
I'm
It's
curious
only right,
to see
though.
side by side like what
it's
was
only
picked.
right though. So we gotta sit down and we gotta put it,
there's that
The right angle, right?
Exactly.
One where you're
Yeah.
smizing.
the corporate picture, which is
Yeah.
the happy smile.
Like this.
And then there's the Tinder picture.
The serious.
The-
The serious. I don't play games.
I don't play
Yeah.
games.
I'm serious about
I'm
this.
yeah.
On deck, as always, the lovely, honorable, phenomenal Lady H.
Happy to be here.
I apologize for last night's choice
Oh no,
of the
it's
boat
fine.
ride.
No,
My bad.
it's not your fault. It was a good
It was a
experience.
boat?
Yeah. So we,
Damn.
the good part about these rides is the view of the city because they
Yeah.
take you all the way down to Staten Island. You don't get off. You just like see it. You don't even have to see
From
it.
afar.
From afar.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to
Yeah,
Staten
no one.
Yeah.
I've never been and I have no interest. And then they take you right, like, very close to the Statue of Liberty. So he got some really great shots of it.
Oh, that's great.
And then they take you back up. And so it's just like a great view.
Yo, but
Except
the
for
boat-
Bad Bunny all the time.
I mean, I don't mind.
all night.
I don't mind it.
VIP, VIP.
So
All night.
we went dressed as clowns from Killer Clowns from Outer
Oh no,
Space.
that's creepy.
It was my favorite costume I've ever worn.
Oh,
So I
that
kept-
creeps me out.
Everybody was
so
like,
good.
"Ustedes son payasos," right? Because it's Latino crowd, right?
yeah.
These fucking people don't know. And I'm like, no, we're technically aliens
Yes.
dressed as clowns.
Do you know
what
the
they
movie?
were?
No.
Yeah, they're killer clowns from outer space. So they're aliens.
What movie is
It's
that?
a, it's a
it's
cult
just
classic from the
literally
80s
The best horror.
about aliens dressed as killer clowns
It's
that
like
come to planet
Sharknado,
Earth.
right?
Yeah,
It's about the same
Not
thing.
chill.
a little
Sharknado's
more.
trash.
It's like
Chill the
campier
fuck out.
and fun.
Sharknado.
This is not trash. Sharknado is absolute trash. But there's 7 fucking films deep though. That means
amazing.
somebody's
Good
loving
for
them.
them.
Yo, their first budget, if I'm not mistaken, is
$400.
no, 20 million. Huh? Their first budget.
No way.
No
way.
It was like
But
20
what
million.
year was this?
When
first one,
Sharknado.
the first
No,
one.
not Tornado. The clown
Oh,
from
so
the moon.
the
Killer
wherever.
Clowns is 80s. It's
Yeah.
B-rated,
Okay.
phenomenal horror film. It's just the absolute truth. And you know what?
Is
There-
it scary or it's
Oh,
just
it's
like,
just so
It's like
fucking
campy scary.
It's funny though.
It's like very
fun.
cheesy,
Funny,
campy
though.
scary. It's
Oh
fun.
my God.
It's great.
We'll
But
show
I
you
remember, did they
pictures of
come
the
as
costumes.
aliens and dress up as
No,
clowns?
they didn't. No, I mean
They actually came.
Yeah.
Wait,
as-
where's the pew, pew, pew,
It was
pew,
right
pew?
there, right behind Drake. Drake
Oh,
had-
can you grab it? So
Oh, that's the weapon?
last night, it's one of the weapons. So last night, each time a pun was made,
Oh
you
my
go.
shoot
God.
them with a laser gun. It's so fun.
It's just yo, we gotta have a screening of it, and
Yeah.
I can't believe that there are just this many people that don't know about this film.
Well, first time I hear about this film.
and before we continue going on to because we have yet to even make it out the intro.
I know.
We got on deck today is somebody that's absolutely just super dope. And the way that I found out how dope you were was at a dinner party. Yes, people, I do go to dinner parties.
Yes, yes.
Yo, like I'm at that stage in my life where
You
I get
have to go to
invited.
dinner parties.
Yo, you gotta get
It's
every
only
once
right.
in a while.
It's
You're
only right.
old.
It's
That
only
means
right.
you're
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
I didn't meet you at
More
like
tasteful.
a ratchet get together. No,
No.
we had a
Dinner.
charcuterie board, motherfuckers.
Oh, wow.
It was a very beautiful dinner.
And
Thank
wine.
you for having us.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, no, my
It was
pleasure.
So you
Formal,
took such
formal.
great
It was
care of
super
us.
formal.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Very formal.
And yo, you know, it's one of those situations where the guys go hang out with the guys and the girls. Are,
okay,
But
okay.
but with the guys, my boy was cursing me out for whatever fucking reason, and I was just like, you know what? Let me back away from this conversation. And then I happened to stumble on your conversation, and your conversation was absolutely so beautiful because I only got like a little taste of it, and it went something along the lines of taking and figuring out what you truly want and manifesting it into tangible desires. If I recall correctly, I might be totally off base here, but that's what I heard in my brain at the time. And I was just like, yo, I want to know more about this. So who we got on deck, somebody is going to teach us and
Yes.
share with us. And not only that, but actually gets paid to tell people how to fucking do this. We got on deck Chitzel Ortega.
Yes,
Happy to be here.
No, thank you. I mean, even from the moment you got in, because by the way, I was running late, and I had and by running late meaning just setting up, and we didn't get home till like 5 a.m. And I texted you. I said, hey, you know, I do give everybody the Dominican time because I tell them 1:30. That means they show up like at 3:30, and you know.
I'll give them more credit.
All right,
They
no,
do show
people
up, like,
do show at
2:30.
2:30,
Yeah.
but and 2:30 is the actual time that I have in my brain that I'm like, yo, this is what it is. But then I was just like, you know what? I told you 2,
Yeah.
and I was like, nah, she more than likely runs.
Will be here at 2.
At 2. I was like, let me tell her 2:30, and your reply was just absolutely phenomenal because I was like, yo, I tell people 2:00 and that's Dominican time. And you're like, nah, I'm Canadian.
And you showed up promptly at 2:30.
On point.
Yo, I was
yeah.
just like, shit, wow.
But I was cool about it. Like, that's fine.
And then when you come in, and then you just start, you know, saying, oh, yeah, I used to be in film. And then my simple-minded approach, I was like, oh, mira, tell me about your peliculita that you've been working on. and you're like, oh, yeah, it was a small film, X-Men Days Future
Yeah.
Past.
Hiring.
Real life.
Hiring
Small
everyone.
film. Just a light, small film.
And then I even took it a step, and I was like, oh, hiring. And Dre was like, oh, how many people you hiring? And I was like, like 300, man. That's just crazy. And she's like, nah, when I left the job, I hired 780.
But the amount of people that was started out. was it four?
Oh, four. Yeah,
Four.
yeah, yeah, four.
Four to how
She
much?
left with-
740?
Correct.
740. That's a
She
780.
she left a building and a half over full of people.
Wow.
Full of
Wild.
people.
Full of
Open
people.
2 buildings. She's like, this other nigga needs a whole building by himself because he's just crazy.
Keep him away from everyone.
I've been mentioning all this without even letting you speak yet, but it was just all in sharing with you how awesome I think you are and how blessed I feel to be in your presence. And thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you. You guys are so kind. I'm so happy of being here.
And because you also mentioned, where are the kind people in New York?
I know, here.
And I was just like, yo,
I found
All in
them.
this room.
There's only 3 of them. All of them are here.
We exist. We exist.
I was so heartbroken to hear about your New York experience because it is the optics of what New York is. Meanwhile, last night while I'm on this boat ride, I'm like, look how beautiful the city is.
But let's not forget you had Bad Bunny as a background.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, as a
There are other
soundtrack.
things about that boat. Also, they like gave the worst boat to this
Of course.
party, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Why the fuck do we get the worst boat?"
I'm not gonna lie, it's a hit or miss because you were on that boat for 4 hours.
It was a miss last
So-
night.
so- so, yeah, that
I
was a
like,
long,
and they
long 4
they gave us
hours.
a shitty boat.
Damn. Yeah.
Diesel in my face the whole time. No
Oh,
matter
shit.
where you were on the boat, it's like, why do I smell diesel
And then
consistently?
They gave you a Yola. They gave you a Yola.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. That's bad.
But
Never
bad
again.
for the bartender.
But then when I was like, nah, it's not diesel. It's the hookah.
No, the hookah smelled better. It was straight up diesel. The poor bartender girl, she was like at the back where the bar was, and people kept coming in and out where the diesel was coming
Damn.
in, and so that poor woman.
Yo, she
I
fit
hope
like
she
every
got-
Mexican stereotype, though. I was like, I'm sure, I'm not gonna even assume, I am positive she was fucking Mexican. And she felt like every Mexican stereotype. Because I was like, yo, baby girl, you should be really complaining to management about this. She's like, no, I'm used to it.
But you saw what happened with the employees shouting at each other at the end?
Oh my God.
Why?
I have no idea. They were just yelling.
It's
As someone got one of the
toxic.
employees got mad and was just yelling and cursing.
Toxic work
What
environment.
So
It was
what
funny.
management are you going to
Like,
complain
It was the
to?
fumes. It was the fumes.
Fumes, yeah.
Send a letter to someone.
That shall go right in the water.
It was the fumes. It was the fumes.
Damn, that was bad.
No, it was an experience, but it's the way I
It was an
view
experience,
these
yes.
experiences is I condition myself to remind myself how aware we are that our situation and our positions are better, and that we know that things can be better. A lot of these people aren't even aware that things are as bad as they are. They just think that that's what it is, so they've accepted it. So by us learning that we know that things are better, I'm just like, hey, we'll be better, and that's
Yeah.
it.
That's it.
So what you're saying is that most of the people there thought that was the right standard.
Yeah.
They were having
And
a great
they were
time.
happy.
And they were happy.
They were
As long
having a
as they
great
have
time.
alcohol, hookah, and
Yeah.
Bad Bunny, life is beautiful.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
And that's their standard.
Yeah.
No, eso es todo. ¿Quieren más?
I will grab this stool and I will look at the view of this beautiful skyline.
What else there is in the world? Like hookah, alcohol, and Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny, come on,
That's it.
A part of me went back to like my teenage years, and because at one point we were just having a beautiful conversation overlooking the New York City skyline, right? And it was all good. And out of nowhere, this girl comes up to me behind me. She's like, "Can I take a picture with you?" And and back in the day, me would have been like, "Yeah, because titties is all out and shit." I'm just like, and I was just like, "Bitch, you just interrupted my conversation." He's like, sure.
I'm a reputable clown. Please show some respect.
Like, do you not see the standard? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say we were the only ones in costume on the boat too.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Because it's
That's crazy.
Latino, so everybody has to be cool.
That's crazy.
And getting dressed is not being cool.
Oh no. That's stupid.
Yeah,
I find it fun.
it was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed
But
my
I will
costume.
never get dressed not like a clown. First of all, I found them creepy as hell.
It was a great costume.
I don't like them. Like they scare me.
That's Halloween. That's its intent.
I
Like,
understand.
what are you gonna do? You could dress up as a naughty nurse? Like, no, that
No,
shit's
not a
not
nurse,
played out.
but I would dress up as a Catwoman.
Catwoman.
Okay, woman's a good one. I could see you in a very like nice
Which
Catwoman.
Catwoman? Catwoman
Yeah,
from
good question.
Batman's 80, Adam West style, or Catwoman Halle Berry, or
Halle Berry. I'm Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
it's
Halle Berry.
Halle
Yeah,
Berry.
yeah, yeah,
She
that makes
has
sense.
Halle
That makes
Berry,
sense. Yeah, Halle Berry. Halle Berry.
Again, I'm a reputable.
Una mujer
So no, it's Halle Berry Catwoman.
no. It has to be a balance.
Yeah, it
it's
has to
like
be a
sexy or not. Just go all the
I know.
fucking.
What I loved about my costume last night was how warm and
Oh,
comfortable
yeah,
I
that-
was.
yeah,
I
that-
wore
no,
so
that's a
many
point.
layers. I had my jacket on under it. I was like, I'm great. I could be here all night.
Was it one of the costumes you had to inflate?
No, you just wore a jacket to leave.
Oh, okay.
It's like if you go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
I hung it on the door because they're
Okay.
like
I'll
visually
check
fun.
it out.
Did you order those on Amazon?
of a Spirit Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could shout out, plug to them. No. Yeah, but I realized that I've done a lot of growing. As soon as we were chilling and we went to the dance floor, and my lovely lady, honorable lady H, says to me, "Huh? Doesn't it hurt to pop your pussy?"
No, because a woman was like, or she was doing the splits and she was like on the floor. I was like, ow, that's gonna be so bruised, girl. Like, make sure you take care of that, or have someone take care of it for you.
And I was like,
Some moisturizer or something.
Massage.
I was just like, nah. These are questions I never thought of before, but we should probably be wondering about people's flexibilities.
It was impressive.
true.
I was very impressed, but also concerned that she was gonna get a lot of bruising in her
It's
pelvic
determination.
That's why
area.
you
It's
need-
determination.
Yeah, no, and that's why you need to try yoga more often.
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
what
Yeah,
happens.
that's true. Yeah, that'll help.
Yoga for perfecting the art of popping
Popping
your
pussy.
pussy.
Yeah.
Slamming it on the floor. That is what she was doing repeatedly.
Oh my
I was
God.
worried about the bruising on her pelvic bone.
And she was so happy.
Oh, yeah, they were having a
she
great
was killing
time.
it. She was killing it. She was killing
Unbothered,
it.
like
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was fine.
Yeah, she was
They-
thriving.
everyone was loving it.
Killing it.
Yeah, but I realized that when shit was different was the moments, and not only the moment, because there were several moments and several occasions where I was congratulated for having such a good costume. They were like, "Hermano, te felicito por tener un disfraz tan bonito," and I'm like,
And the best costumes go.
They will congratulate you. They were saying congratulations because you were the only people with the costume.
"No, they had a whole costume contest,"
did.
and they were like,
No one invited us.
"Nobody."
Yeah.
But we
Oh,
didn't
We're
want
like,
to
"Y
go.
los payasos allá?" No one gave us a shout out. Just a pair of sad clowns.
And then out of nowhere, we just had photo shoots, and I was like, "Yo, I want to
yeah.
be tagged. Put me." So if these motherfuckers don't tag me, I'm following a bunch of Mexicans and Ecuadorians for no fucking reason. It'll be tight.
With this, like,
Yeah.
were you in the boat party?
What costume was the best costume?
I don't even know,
I
man.
don't know. There was a bishop, and I appreciate the bishop. I was like, I appreciate a Catholic bishop on a Latino Halloween theme boat.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, are you gonna dress up for Halloween at all?
Not at all. Well, I don't have a costume.
No,
Are y'all doing
already.
anything?
You're not doing nothing tonight.
No.
You
no.
guys, like-
I'm old. I told you.
Does it matter?
Yeah.
What? How? At what age group do you think people should be considering themselves old?
I believe
That's
being-
just a nice way of me asking how old are you.
No. But being old is not a number thing. Like
Right.
to be honest,
How you
because I have
feel.
friends.
It's how you feel.
It's really how you feel, and you can be really misled because sometimes you really don't know. And I've worked with my whole life. I've worked with 25-year-old, 50-year-old, 65-year-old, and sometimes the attitude of the 25 feels older.
Un viejo de diablo.
Older than the 65. So it really I don't think there is an age to be old. Like if you are 68 and you want to dress up and go to a boat to listen to Bad Bunny and drink bad alcohol, then
Why not?
by all means
not?
go do it. Like you're young. Life is life is too short.
I feel like shots were just taken. I'm not 68.
But right now in my mentality, like I feel like there are certain things that make me feel like I'm too old for that. Like no. So
Yeah.
dressing up, Halloween. I mean, maybe if to me, will have been maybe more fun if I would have organized something at my place or any place, invite some friends, all dress up, like a nice thing with people that I care and that I know it's going to be fun.
So dinner parties.
Yeah.
Dinner parties.
I mean, that
dinner
sounds great
parties.
to me. I was thinking that in the shower.
However, like going on an adventure with no.
What about the parade? What about the parade? Is a parade going
Yo,
on?
man.
Is it a parade?
Halloween parade?
Yeah, I
There's
think we came back
in the
last-
West Village.
On the-
When
on
is
Sunday.
that? Tomorrow?
Oh, it's Sunday.
It's
Probably
because you're
tonight.
not American, so
Yeah.
you don't know.
Yeah, no, not New York.
You're not New Yorker.
Yeah, that's a specific New
Yeah.
York thing.
That,
parade.
not everybody has a Halloween parade.
No,
No,
that's
no,
very
I
new.
think-
Like
yeah, I think
that's
that's like a
that's
New York
to the
thing.
West Village
In
in New
Canada,
York.
you celebrate
Yes, we do. We do.
Halloween, right?
Halloween, yes.
They have a parade?
No, not
Yeah,
parade.
that's-
It's just trick or treat.
It's just trick or treat, yeah.
It's usually what it is.
with everybody that has open doors and candy is laid out. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, yo, you remember one time we were younger? I remember, and I used to live on 164th Street, and Dre would visit me often, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna put out candy in front of my front door for all the kids to take.
Oh, you said that?
And I said that, and I did, and Dre goes, nigga, don't you know that they're gonna take your whole
The whole basket.
One kid.
It's gonna take the whole basket.
Not
I'm
even
like,
a kid, one adult.
Yeah, exactly.
One grown-ass man.
Like, you're gonna be changing baskets all the time.
So what
bro.
happened?
And so, and then at the time when I was sharing that position, my spiritual advisor, like my mentor, Jim Hill, was with us, and he goes, "You see, Ranji, you gotta have brothers like that in your corner because he can see the curveball. You're just watching for the fastball, but he sees the curveball." And I was like, at the time, I was like, "Nigga, what is he talking about?"
But I think nobody took the bucket, right?
But nobody took the bucket.
Surprisingly,
that.
surprisingly,
That's
nobody
beautiful.
took the bucket. Yeah.
I choose to believe that our people have. If we treat our people better, people will do right.
That
Yes,
is true.
and
That
that's
is
true.
true.
And I
It's
choose to
true.
believe they thought it was a trap.
That's why no one grabbed
So whoever
it.
gonna grab that bucket, the door's gonna slide
I cannot
open,
trust these candy bars.
and they're gonna grab
God
you right
knows
inside
what
the
is
apartment.
inside.
They're gonna grab you right inside the apartment. Don't touch the bucket.
Oh my
Don't
God.
touch the bucket.
So how is that you had a spiritual advisor?
So at that time, how old was I? I was like 20. So I was in
When you met Mr. Hill?
18. No, when I met him, or basically he is or was a teacher. He
was a
He was
teacher.
a teacher. Now he's retired.
Yeah.
And I met him via my uncle, and within the process, our first conversation, I'll never forget. We met when I was supposed to meet him. We were supposed to go hang out at the movies. My uncle wanted to introduce us, just like, hey, as a friend or whatever. But I got there early enough because I was trying to run on American time at the time. And we were sitting in 34th Street, and he said, hey, let's just sit here. And we weren't talking. I go, so what are we doing? And he goes, we're just going to sit here and look at the pigeons. And I go, huh? The fuck is this about? And he goes, do you know which one is male and which one is female? And I go, actually, I've never even thought of that. And he goes, well, I think one of the easier ways to identify who's who is because you can see that the women, the female pigeons are going after the bread, and then the male pigeons are going after the female pigeons. Know what do you want? You want food or you want tail? And
That's a good one.
and he was like, so figure out your purpose. And then he would share these little bits and pieces with me, and what I noticed was people would call him crazy, and I was saying nah, man, that's fucking genius.
Yeah.
And so we would do little things, and he would share with me other little saying. He would be like, if the mountain were smooth, you will never be able to get to the top. And I'm like, cool,
Yeah, he used to drop little jewels all the time here and there. Where every time we meet up with him, he used to drop some shit, and I'd be like,
What
Ron,
does that mean?
You understand? Yeah, I was like, yo, Ron, I don't know.
I don't know.
We had to break it down a few times. Like, oh, that's what he was.
and it was fun, and then so I was super fulfilled. Earlier this year, was it this
It was
year?
in January.
We went
Yeah.
to. He's now living in Atlanta. At first, he was in Brooklyn, and he did a lot of things. Like He opened up a homeless shelter home. He got kicked out of several churches because he would invite homeless people to church and clean their feet with holy water.
Oh.
And he was like, "Isn't this what Jesus did?" And the fucking bishops, or not who are the people?
Priests,
The priests.
fathers,
You're
yeah.
wasting water.
Yeah.
He's an amazing man.
We
Shout out to
need the
Mr.
water.
He was an amazing man. Didn't he invite homeless people to live in his house at one
And
point?
then
Oh
he did-
wow,
he-
that's
yeah.
wild.
Well, that's like
that's
next level.
serious. Next level.
No, he was super committed.
and he also started out as a model actor, not
Correct.
like a
That's true,
successful
that's true,
model
yeah,
actor.
that's
He was one of the leading ad men for Hennessy at the time.
Yeah.
And like he's much older. I think he's like 80 now.
Yeah.
And when he realized that all his work was being used to perpetuate the fact of, you know, the killing of our people, and it's because he was doing all the ads for Newport, Hennessy, all this kind of stuff. He's like, fuck. So he was taking that money and opening up a magazine for people of color. I think it was called Honeybee. And then Time Warner bought it out for $1 million and did nothing with it. So he then taught me about how big conglomerate companies buy smaller companies of
And
people of
they
color,
just,
and they just let it
disappear.
disappear and do nothing with it. So he took that money and bought a house that he created as a homeless shelter and let people live in it for free. And it was just a whole thing. So he went by like that next level. However, within the realm of being with the models, he dated people that were models, so his counterparts were with that realm. And if you're familiar with that realm, a lot of things can take you in a variety of directions.
A lot of distractions.
And a lot of distractions. And his path of righteousness, I guess, was seen and deemed as crazy.
Oh.
And so, long story short, dude has several kids. All of them are trying to be musicians, models, actors,
Artists.
and artists. And you know, but the conversations that I've heard him have with them, there's a different level of love or disdain, as people might interpret as, because they don't see him as a father. They see him as him wanting to help the world, but not him helping his children. And you know, it's optics, man, and a lot of crazy stuff. But you know, the man helped me and like to a whole nother level, because the level of confidence that I have now is due to him.
Oh, that's great.
And I was just like, yo, fuck it, do it. And so I appreciate him. So shout out to Mr.
Yeah, he's a wonderful man. And
Shout
he
out
also
to
he made that
Luke
piece right
too.
there.
Oh yeah.
The poster
That
that says
poster?
our
Yeah.
story. Yeah, he's
Shout
an
out.
artist. That's what he does now.
So
Shout out to Uncle Lou for even introducing us to it.
it's a lot, but you know, it's always about all that to say that I do believe in reinvigorating the positive spirit, that a lot of things do fall into place and how people cross paths, whether it's the universe, God, whatever titles we want to give it. I say universe because I feel that doesn't
Identified with that.
with any
Yeah.
you know, like particular religion, because I think everything has its truth and its own reality, and I just don't want to be tied down to one thing. So just open to all. But meeting you and listening to you, I was just like, damn, man, you talking real shit. And real shit meaning like, oh wow, you're introducing it as a PowerPoint presentation. So would you like to go into more or less exactly what it is that you do and how you even got into it? Because you sharing that you were in film and now you're doing what you're doing, which is, what is your title? Like, what do you call it?
Well, my formal job at Amazon is labor and employer relations manager. So what I do, it's basically employer relations, engagement, third-party intervention, ensuring the associates have the right experience whenever they put a foot in one of our delivery stations. I am focused more on last mile of the business. So it's basically the part in which packages are ready to be put in the van, and drivers, you see drivers all over the place distributing that. So that part is very legal slash human, let's say, because there's a lot of interactions with managers and people managers, and a lot of coaching in how things that you need to do as a manager and as a person to actually influence the well-being of the associates.
Wow.
And that's...
Are you a fucking lawyer too?
Damn.
Yeah, I'm a lawyer. That's my first degree. My first degree is in law.
wow. Lawyer.
So,
Wow.
yeah. So I'm a lawyer, and then actually started my career as a corporate lawyer, and then fall in love with human development, leadership development, and all the sometimes woo-woo things like you can be better, and then you do this, you can do everything. Not exactly. And but yeah, my passion, even though my brain works very legally, let's say, like very structured, but my passion is really developing people and making sure that people are actually given their best in whatever it is that you're doing. You are, I don't know, cooking, mopping the floor, or pushing boxes, or you're in a big conference room, like deciding the fate of the humanity, whatever. At any level, we all can be, and this sounds like a cliche, but it's true. We all can be the best we can be. The problem with that is that most of us, we don't know what the best we can be looks like.
Yeah. Boat ride example.
And that's where my work, not related to Amazon, but my private work, it's
You have a self-empowerment.
yes. So basically, what we do,
What is the actual website? I forgot.
success empowerment.
Successempowerment.com. Yo, follow, go look into that.
So when my partner Jenny, she's from Vancouver, and I do there, we focus a lot on in the corporate world and in the visual effects and film and high-tech companies to actually give managers the tools to be efficient without killing the employees, right?
The employees.
Which is, we need the people, right?
So maximize the labor without murdering.
Well, taking care of the people.
Taking care of the people. At the end of the day, okay, you kill them. So who's gonna?
Who's gonna
Yeah,
work?
you need to find new ones, and it becomes a repetitive,
It's more work
inefficient cycle.
finding new people.
inefficient.
It is very expensive. But aside from that, what I really feel like my passion is giving people the right tools to actually do what they need to do, or they are being called to do in their communities, at their work, with their families. And it can be like a housewife, like you don't work, you don't go outside, but actually you interact with your children, with your husband, with your neighbor, with your family. And that's how I ended up being certified with this program that I love, which is the one we were discussing when you were at our place. And it's called Core Desire Feelings.
Core Desire
Feelings.
Wow.
And is Danielle Laporte, she's Canadian, fellow Canadian from Vancouver, who designed and developed this program. So basically, it's very basic premise. What she says is that we all have desires, and whoever is interested in self-development and spirituality and New Age and all that have heard the first thing is the desire. So desire is what moves everything. Desire is what really propels action. So when you identified that desire and you actually acknowledge and kind of absorb that desire, because sometimes we reject our desires.
Absolutely.
And and that's when we become frustrated and angry with the world, and we yell at people at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Yes. Roadblocks.
You have not lived in the Bronx.
And it's because sometimes we don't accept what we really want, and there's a lot of conditioning. There's the society condition, my family condition, what I think it's the right thing, even if it's not what I want. So, but that's kind of deep. But in a more genetic topic, during your life, you have desires, and they're not static. They change because you mature. You're not the same person when you're 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe in my, I don't know, teens, I would have appreciated a lot 5 hours with Bad Bunny, but right now it would just kill me.
Like I said, the big city bitch that said, yo, can I take a picture? Sloppy drunk. I would have been like, where's
Exactly.
Now I'm like,
and it's growth. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
It's
right? It's
growth
just growth.
and
yeah.
it's change, and it's so we don't need to feel bad because in the past my desire was X or Y and now it's A and B.
It's
Like
different,
it's just different. You're
Yeah.
not the same person. Period.
changing the letters does make a difference. X, Y, A, and B.
Yeah.
So this is what we do. What we do with our program is that we help individuals to take the first step. And the first step for whatever you want to start is clarity.
Gotta be clear. Clarity.
Yo,
You're just gonna be pushing those
yo,
buttons.
the entire time,
Yeah.
dropping bombs.
It's clarity because when you don't know, like, and we are all busy. We have a lot of stuff to do. We are not actually taking the time to reflect. And and then when you go and say, how exactly do I want to feel? And because
I'm not gonna
sometimes
press the button again.
no, no, because this is the thing. We're talking about society, family, role. So you grow up, your family. There's some expectations in terms of how your life should look like, and what school you should go, and what friends you
Marriage.
should have. Marriage,
Marriage,
children.
kids, yeah.
Like, how come you don't have children?
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
don't want
yeah.
children. Like,
yeah, it's true.
or a career, or
I can't take care of myself. I'm gonna take care of another human being. Like,
like basics first. And those expectations, they put pressure on us.
Yeah.
So sometimes we really need to, because we want to fit. And my family, my community, my country, whatever the case. So I need the best job, the best car, the best neighborhood, or the PhD, you name it.
Yeah.
So we all have a lot of goals that they're tangible, they're very, like, they're physical, and they take some action. And most of us, they get there, they accomplish what they have to accomplish, and they still feel empty.
wow. Can I hit the bomb?
Yeah, hit the bomb.
Okay.
Hit the bomb. Hit the bomb. Hit the bomb.
So why is that? Because we were going after expectations that might not even have been our expectations. We just assume they were, because that's what we see, right? And the work here is to actually have clarity as of, if your goal is to have the car, how is exactly that you want to feel? What do you think that car will make you feel? And start feeling the way you want to feel even before you have that car. And I know it sounds like, oh my God. But to do that, you actually need to understand how is exactly that you want to feel. And we use words for that. Because this podcast is called Words That Nobody Cares.
Just words.
So
Nobody.
just
Who's knocking
words.
on my door right
Word
now?
up.
However, I have to say, words have power.
A lot of power. Yeah.
And what you like, it's creation. If you're Christian, you will see it in the Bible. It's the word. Look, what actually materializes the thought. So word, and every aspect, word has power. I see it in my work every day. The words you use to describe yourself, the words you use to describe your environment, the words you use to describe your future self are important. You're putting energy out there. You're putting it's your desired with form. So words are really powerful. So what we do is that we use words to identify the feelings and the emotions. Just to give you an example, if I want the big house and I work my ass.
Give me 1 second. Who the fuck is knocking? Like, we have time. You have time, right?
Of
Like,
course,
Yeah, because I definitely don't want to cut our conversation short. And what you're sharing is,
Amazing.
yo,
Amazing.
you hear
I heard
this?
a lot of it though. I heard a lot of it that manifesting, you gotta write it down like it's already happening. I don't know if like the same thing like that.
Well, yes, it's not exactly the same thing, but there's no writing and manifesting without any feeling.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how much you write. I'm rich. I'm rich. I'm rich.
Yeah,
I'm rich.
yeah.
If you're feeling
not
poor,
yeah,
forget about it.
yeah. They don't go together. Yeah, yeah.
So that's and sometimes you want to be rich, or what is exactly that you want to manifest? So you want to manifest whatever, the job or being rich.
Yeah.
but what you are chasing is actual emotion. You want to feel what? Seen. You want to feel strong. You
Yeah.
want to feel fulfilled. You want to feel loved. Or do you think that those things will make you feel that
Right.
way? So that it's
I
kind of
see.
different
Yeah.
because there is a technique to manifesting, which is you could do that. You can focus on what you want, and then you spend a lot of time thinking about it. However, just empty thinking or just doing it in a mechanic
Not doing nothing about it.
and not doing
Yeah.
nothing about it and not feeling the actual accomplishment of that won't take you necessarily where
Yeah.
to manifest what you need. But and the clarity part that I was referring to before helps you with that, because you can add like being rich or the BMW or
Yeah,
the house
house,
or
yeah.
the whatever, but it happens when you understand that what you really want to feel maybe is accepted
So this
or
is
abundant.
so how about this
which-
example?
those are two different
This
things.
example that I'm thinking right now. So let's say somebody's always thinking about I'm rich, I want to be rich, I want to be rich, but they don't know what feeling is that or what feeling they're looking for, and they win the lotto tomorrow, and they'll get that money, and they will be fulfilled because they didn't know why they wanted to be rich. If I'm
Will
at
they
the
be
right ballpark.
fulfilled? Because most of the people who actually, I want to be rich, I want to be rich, I want to be rich. I don't even know why I want to be rich. I win the lotto today, and 2 years after, I'm back being broke.
That-
Yeah,
that's
you
why the
won't be
niggas do kill
fulfilled because you don't
themselves.
know why you wanted to be rich in the first place.
A lot of those people that win the lottery end up like
It's
blowing it
bad.
on
It's a-
hookers
it's a-
and
it's- yeah,
drugs
no,
and
that
then
is a- yeah,
kill
the-
themselves.
It's a bad
And if you see the
statistic.
statistics,
It's bad.
it's ridiculous.
It's horrible. Yeah, it's horrible.
So, and I don't know. Sometimes I say, look, but there's no money management class or
No,
something
no,
that
no,
you
no.
can take.
Yeah.
It's your consciousness.
Yeah.
You don't feel abundant. You have the money, but you don't have the rich mentality. And sometimes one thing, most of the time, like all of the time, that needs to correlate. You need to feel abundant, and then you will manifest abundance. You feeling lacking, and like you have a good luck, and something happened without the preparation needed to be. What happens is you have it, but you're not able to maintain it.
Yeah.
And
That makes
then,
sense, though.
and that's the thing, you have to cultivate that. If you want to be abundant, which we could equate to rich, what things are you doing now that makes you feel abundant?
Wow.
You see? And it can be, you don't need to go to a spa day
Yeah,
and, and buy
Or
these
shopping,
or
or this,
shopping.
yeah.
No,
That's
It's putting
sometimes
within, right?
like just my example, to me feeling abundant is at the end of the day, I finish work or I just came back from the gym, I make myself a good cup of coffee, quality coffee. I hate crappy coffee.
Yes, agreed.
No
Yes,
Bustelo, no
yes,
Bustelo, no
100%.
Bustelo.
So
Bustelo.
good cup, no Bustelo.
You need to tell me those vacuum sealed bricks of Bustelo.
Once you open it, you smell it.
So good coffee, and I go and sit in my deck, and I'm looking just at the sunset. That makes me feel abundant because I feel like I ask myself, what do I need right now that I don't have?
But a lot of people don't have that sunset view. Like, yo,
Facts.
But
niggas
it
is
can
in the
be
Bronx.
like,
Facts.
but that's for me. But maybe for you, that's okay. Yeah, whatever. Like, what makes you
a
feel
nice sunset
abundant?
is a nice sunset.
And what you do
And I have
is,
seen your sunset. It's fine. It really
and
is.
it's good, right? But what I'm saying is that clarity, that you knowing what really has meaning for you, how is exactly that I want to feel. It takes time. It takes introspection. So that's how you get to associate the material things with the feelings that you wanted to that you actually want to feel. And it's guaranteed, almost guaranteed, that when you get the material thing, but all the way through that thing you've been feeling the way you've been feeling, the sense of accomplishment, it just feels different. It feels more from the inside, because you didn't need that to be happy. You were happy already. So you're just adding up. Whenever you're adding up, it's a good thing. Whenever you think that it is actually what you need, otherwise you won't be X or Y, the minute that thing is delayed, the minute that thing I don't know, it's more difficult than what you thought, and then that minute you're miserable, and that's what we are trying to avoid. So to do that, we go through a whole bunch of exercise in which you have to identify your feelings, and we start with every level of the human being. Like we go physically. How do you want to feel physically? Most of us, I want to go on a diet and I want to weigh like 120 pounds. But what does that mean? Like if you don't,
I just accepted I'm fat.
Yeah.
you can be totally happy, but maybe you
like-
want to feel, I don't know,
I
stronger.
wear the tight shirts because I think I want to wear the medium.
It's like being real detailed about everything that you want.
It's detailed. That's the first thing. Like being specific. Whatever is not like you live like random. The universe, as Ron will say, will send you the same randomness. So you want to feel strong, and then you think that whenever you get the gym subscription is you're going to be happy, and then you lose 40 pounds or whatever the case is.
Just giving your $20 a month to Planet Fitness.
and then you're still feeling crappy because
yeah.
you're skinny, but you're not able to lift a bag of potatoes.
Yeah.
I was really like in that sense that you're sharing, like that feeling, that sense that I was looking at like younger pictures of myself. I'm not like, but I'm talking about like 10 years ago, right? And I was like, coño, mira, like I did lose the weight. Like I want to be where I was then. But yo, I was not happy back then. And like what I looked like then is probably what I want to look like now. And I'm nowhere near that, but I'm much more fulfilled and way happier now than I was back then. Because back then, even though I lost that weight, I was fucking broke and going through a lot of shit. Like it was fucked up situation. And yo, it's totally different in that respect. So the physical aspect, that you're mentioning is something that I'm now coming to terms with every day that I look at myself, and I'm like, before what I would think and not be happy with the way that I am and changes and modifications and blah blah blah. Now I'm just like, you know what, I accept it, but what change and what level could that elevate my experience and my livelihood to if I were to make those changes? Because when I speak to people, if I'm happy and they know I'm happy, they accept me for what I am and who I am.
Agree,
and that's it.
Agree. And with the body, this is my take on it. With the physical body, this is how I think. The goal has not. I don't believe in those goals. I need to be skinny. I need to. And listen, we've all been there. Like I know I'm on a constant diet, but I'm more. I think more about healthy. Why? Because when I see the things that I can do now with healthier habits, more movement, I've incorporated like lifting and this stuff. The things that I can do without being dead 3 minutes later, it's like, but this is paying off. So and then I really at this age it's when I'm thinking 10 years from now, I don't want to be dependent on a whole bunch of medication or reduced mobility or a whole bunch of stuff that I cannot even travel. I love to travel. So I'm always thinking like lifting my suitcase.
Running after a
It's
train.
wild you mentioned not the suitcase part, but the traveling part. Because I see the old people in my hood. I'm in Washington Heights, and they're all fucking dependent on their walkers. They got the little
wheelchairs.
Yeah.
They got the little cane with the chair.
But it's not even older people. It's people who are middle aged that are having this
no,
too.
them niggas
That
is
it's
fucked
like,
up.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna like not the old people.
Yeah.
But when we go to Arizona, for example, we're hiking at 4 or 5 in the morning, and the only people that are there are the older people.
Yeah.
And they're fucking out walking us, and they're going
walking circles around us.
and I'm all out here out of breath and panting and shit. Y estos tigres de que, are you okay, son?
They're giving you water.
No, for real. That's true. They actually didn't like check in on us at all. They just kept walking.
But and it's just like, so having that physical, it helps, but also doing it and living it. It's a total fucking game changer, because if you become dependent on the pills and you're staying home and you're doing nothing, you're walking 2 blocks, cansa, especially New York City blocks, and you're just like tired, and you're like, hey, I can't do it.
And not even that. When you're at an adventures, let's say, like me, and when you don't have enough energy, it's frustrating. You don't have enough energy. You don't have a strength. You go to this beautiful place and you just want to lay down and then go to bed. Like, what's the point? Like, really
Got dressed up to the T.
being healthy, like, it pays off. You're happier. So this is my point with this, is that when we assess, or when we help individuals to go over all their lives, we touch
You use
on
a triangle or a reverse funnel?
we do. It's like a quadrant, let's say. So
quadrant.
so you go like in different aspects. So we touch
health?
on health. We touch on relationships, not romantic, like any
Just in general,
relationship. Work, which you could equate to your purpose, and spirituality, because it's an aspect that we also consider very important in the development of a human. And it doesn't have to do with with religion. It just have to do with that connection to something greater that most of us have. So how do you express that? How do you want to feel in terms of your spirituality?
Wow.
And how does that translate into actual actions? For some people, spirituality is meditating 3 hours a day. For others, is just doing good deeds.
Does taking a nap for 3 hours count?
It does.
Yo, power naps.
Listen, it does. Because if after that nap, you're a kinder person
And more energetic.
Yeah.
and more energetic, and you're just contributing to the best of your ability, that's spiritual.
You're transferring better energy.
There you
from
go.
It's
there.
true.
Yeah.
Everything counts.
There you
Whatever
go.
takes. This is my thing, or my thought on this. Whatever you need to do to ensure that what you're putting out there, it's top quality in terms of your energy, in terms of your vibes, in terms of your love. What are you putting out there? Whenever you yell at someone, what is exactly that you're putting out there? And don't tell me like I yell, like we all do. But when we are more mindful of the impact that has, we're more careful. Wow. And if you to avoid being an idiot, you need to go and take a fucking nap. Go do it.
More people need naps in this world.
You're right.
It's true. Bring back nap time.
And then I won't judge you. I need 2 hours to sleep. Go in peace, my child.
Take it.
What about somebody that'll tell you like, I don't know what makes me happy. I don't know what I want. I don't, like, confused as hell. Like they don't know where even to start.
99% of them.
I'm asking them one of them. I need answers.
I think, like most of us, we don't know what makes us happy because we don't try enough things, and we are so afraid of having it right the first time that we are afraid to fail. So we just go always on the safe path. So,
By any chance, do you have studies on of demographics of who gets affected by what? Because in a room right now, like full of Latinos, do you think that maybe in just on a interpersonal level, that we don't know what we want because generationally we've been told what we should want, and how that might affect our path and of growth or lack thereof, and what we should be seeking?
I believe culture has a lot to do with.
Damn, you're a fucking lawyer.
With
Wow, but it makes sense. It makes a whole lot of
It
sense.
is true, and let me tell you this. When I used to work in film, we will bring people from countries that I don't even know the name. Like, is that a country? So, yes.
Georgia. not the state. Not the state.
Not Atlanta,
They're
Georgia.
not the state. But what I've seen is that, and this is something I coach a lot when I was back in Canada with the Latin American population. You're totally right. I believe other cultures, maybe European ones, they raise their children more independent, and their critical thinking, it's something that they encourage a lot. However, in the third world,
What is it? They
The
call
Bronx.
it the undeveloped world. That's the new
undeveloped,
term,
yeah.
right? Because we're developed, they're
The
underdeveloped.
The
Yeah.
hood.
In the underdeveloped world, we tend to tell the children what to do, and not only tell. It's like this is this, and the in general, children they don't receive any reward for thinking critically.
Well, you get punishment in
They
some
get-
cases.
They get
In most
punished.
cases.
So you
Yeah.
might have a little German kid challenging a thought, and the father will go, "That's interesting. Let's discuss this idea."
Oh, that never happened.
And then you have another one, and they will throw a chancleta on you. So like, listen, like that's not
Que
gonna
Dios
work.
te está escuchando.
So of course that has to do that confuses a lot, and I see that like back in Canada I could see it, the level of confidence of a professional coming from France or for England as opposed as the level of confidence from someone coming from Latin American, even though they might have the same preparation. And sometimes the Latin American guy had a higher level of education. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's real what you're talking
It's
to.
mentality, it's
Yeah.
culture. The Latin American culture, and this sad me. I was so sad to see this because it's like they were always begging for stuff. Like they wouldn't think they deserve anything, as opposed to the little monster from France. Then
Who
he's
thinks
just
they're
like,
God's
Yeah,
gift to the
that's mine.
world.
It's
true.
I'm French.
I'm French.
Okay.
I mean, that sounds very French.
Yo, the amount of arguments I've had with them niggas is
Yeah.
crazy.
But it's so true to what you're speaking to, and I feel like me, myself, and my personal development, I finally, as a Latina, I've made it past the other side of letting go of what is expected and what we've been taught, and the fear and the fear of asking for what we want. And I feel like I'm finally on the other side of that, of all that work that I've had to do, and thanks in part to you. After meeting you, you've taught me how to do that.
Oh yeah.
And thank you for that.
Shout out to Ron.
Yes, no, shout out to you. Thank you. And now, like, I ask for what I want.
I thought this was Ron's apartment. You're not Ron?
Random nigga in the background. We got a live studio audience today, guys.
And now I ask for what I want, and I am seeing results, which is, it's really,
Listen.
it's amazing to see.
Most of the time when you ask what you want,
Yeah.
you'll get what you're asking
Isn't
for.
that like a Bible thing? They could ask and
No.
you shall receive.
Oh yes,
what-
it is,
Yes.
but not.
No,
I feel like
I don't know.
There's like probably a little asterisk to that. Probably in Catholicism.
Yeah, that's like the secret,
Oh, because
right?
we,
Like the secret,
the
the
book?
book and the.
I
and the
think we
thing.
always give like negative connotations to what should be interpreted as positive. So people be like, oh, ask and you should receive. But that's when they tell us, que, mira muchacho el diablo, tú pides y te va, Dios te va a castigar. And it's like,
That's
oh,
true.
And that's another thing. I was born and raised Catholic, but religion has a lot to do with how people feel about asking and how and how people feel they deserve things. Like there's a deserving mentality that for some reason it goes like back generations. I don't deserve this, and I mean I understand like when you study the history of these countries, there's slavery. They were like
I mean,
there
well,
was this
Catholicism isn't natural to Latino America. It was brought to
it
us.
was brought, but it was imposed.
And
And
by
then-
brought,
and-
I mean, it was not, they could brought as a gift.
And then
Imposed,
whatever
yeah.
was there, like the Native Americans, and they had their own religious practices.
They believed in stupid shit like the sun god.
like the sun god and the moon,
That actually makes
and-
plants grow.
And the moon god.
and- which is now like that's what everybody's believing now.
Because
So now
white
we're
people sell us
back to
crystals.
basics. Exactly.
When the white people sell us crystals that are $10,000, but you can pick it up in the bodega.
Oh, and also there are people, and there's a new trend, or was, I don't know if it's still a thing, but people like shining their assholes and their vaginas to the sun to
No.
receive the energy.
Oh, yeah, I've
I
heard
don't remember
that.
the term,
Wait,
like
what?
the
I've
official
heard of
term.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a real thing that people are doing
and
now.
what that gives you. Like what is
Power.
What is
No,
Power.
What
Power.
I
Yeah, I
read,
think it is
because
power,
there's a good. There is
Shout out to the
Who
girl
makes this
popping her
shit up?
pussy on the dance floor.
Listen.
She knows what it is.
There's a book.
Bruising her pussy.
There's a book called Pussy, the Revolution or the New Revolution. The author is Mama Gina. That you can Google that. And all her theory is about that the strength of a woman comes from her pussy. And because we're all so afraid and embarrassed and we don't even say the word.
Shame,
Vagina.
shame, shame.
Nobody should be saying
And
the
to
word
me,
vagina.
and to be honest, I don't like, I interpret things like in a more maybe broader way. And I don't necessarily think like pussy like that, but I would say the feminine energy. I will translate that to something like has more meaningful for me. But when I read the book, part of the practices was doing that. Expose it to the sun.
Really?
Great.
Just pop it in the morning.
Let it
Pop the pussy in the morning, bro. Spread that pussy. Shine it to the sun.
Yo,
Let the
but
sun shine.
because like the way I look at science fiction movies, especially B-rated ones, you know, they're stupid. But every time you enter portals into another world, they look like vaginas to me.
Yeah, well, actually, it's the birth channel, right? So
Yeah.
it is a portal. Like for you to come to life, you
Well,
have to
that's
go
true.
through the
Yeah,
freaking pussy.
that makes
So
both
it
comes.
is a portal.
That makes sense, though.
It
That's
is
right.
a portal.
bro.
Easy. Two comes come out of that portal.
It is a portal.
It's just, nah, yo, like not even like on a stupid joke, but yo, no, it's the unification and the unification of one, and also the growth of a human
life.
being,
Yeah.
of life.
Yeah.
And I think it's all givers, but at the same time, if the government can't tax it, you shouldn't be using it for free. So nobody should have the pussy for free. You gotta pay.
There's a price for
There's a
that.
price, yeah, like, and people will figure it out. It's like growing weed in your backyard.
I never thought of it as a portal, though.
You never thought
It's
of
dead
it?
as like a portal, though.
It
Like,
is
I'm
a
talking about
portal.
the woman.
Yeah.
It is a
Yeah.
portal.
I mean, we all came through that portal.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
A lot
What-
of different portals. but
What
it's-
came first, the chicken or the egg? No, I'm sorry.
What about first baby?
No, people don't want me to get in my first baby theory. The first baby theory that I have is just that: how can the first baby be the first baby? Because a fucking wolf would have eaten it, or was the first baby chill with the wolf, and then the
Wait, but
first
where the first baby came from?
exactly.
But
Nobody,
who's the first baby? Like Adam and Eve?
Nah,
I mean,
Nah, they have no
if
kids.
you look at the, I don't know.
I don't think they have kids.
I
They
spoke
have
to a friend
kids.
from Texas that is very Christian and also was like Adam and Eve,
you know.
and
Word.
it's like,
Well, let's not forget, because Adam and Eve, it's creation theory, and then we
Right,
have the
right.
evolution theory. We
Right.
were
Yeah.
like,
They
so
came from amoebas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we all came from whoever, and so to your point, if
If
we,
you couldn't eat an apple as a baby because you got no teeth, what are you fucking sucking on? Because there's no teeth. And right?
yeah, your mother's teeth, but your mother was a baby, and so then
So where's the first baby theory? And you
you had
got
to have multiple babies, no?
And then on top of that, there's another hungry baby, which is another animal. They're gonna fucking eat you because they're gonna see you as a beautiful fruit. And
That's
so
a beautiful fruit. Very strange looking fruit.
yeah, it's like because you're on the ground, right? The baby's on the ground. You're not gonna be
Yeah.
on the tree. So whatever.
know.
That's a whole rabbit hole of my
Yeah,
first baby
yeah,
theory.
yeah.
Like,
First
hey, but just think about the first baby.
There must have
think
been
about-
several first
what about the
babies.
first dinosaur?
yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so. There must have
Yeah,
been
yeah.
seven. It wasn't just one.
Oh,
And
no.
they were like, "Don't go over there because there's a wolf that will eat you." And they ate little Jack. over there.
Imagine a whole world ran by first babies. And then one baby was smarter than the other babies and said, "Y'all niggas should build this pyramid." Y'all should. You're like, what the fuck? Because when we went to Mexico, and then they talked about like the average human lifespan, it was like 12 years or some dumb
Damn.
shit.
They were also tiny.
And then it was so, and I'm like,
Yeah.
so this whole shit was built by kids. Now I can't even fucking have a kid go get me a goddamn thing from a
true.
bodega.
It's true.
So I'm like, you mean to tell me 12-year-olds built a whole fucking pyramid? It doesn't
fucking
make
insane.
sense.
That's
First
insane.
baby.
Yeah.
More of the story. Let me circle back because we're going way into over the hour, and I don't want to take away from the purpose intended of what because the conversation we're having
It's insane.
on so many spectrums is absolutely lovely. But I want to circle back and make sure that I can convey to the 5 people that listen to this podcast.
They're not fine.
Manifest to the
Manifest to more
500,000.
They're strong in process of being strong.
That there are 4 quadrants.
Yes. So this is what we do. So we identify each aspect of our lives: spirituality, physical, professional purpose, relationship, and the first one, which is the most important, the relationship with myself. And we try to gain some clarity, doing some introspection, asking ourselves, how do I want to feel in each aspect of my life? And what we do, part of the exercise, is that we identify how we are feeling today.
Oof.
And because most of the time we're in cruise control. So
Yeah.
how are you feeling with your partner?
They call it cruise.
I don't know.
control.
We're okay. And how are you feeling? Well, I guess we're fine. And everything is kind of, because we are very caught up in our day to day.
Hey, Bob, how are you doing? I'm fine.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm
yeah.
fine. And again, I'm not encouraging anyone to share their
personal-
their personal
Yeah.
Si
things
tú
with
le
anyone.
preguntas a fulanita y ella te va a decir,
La historia de su vida.
Ahí te quedas
me
por
estás
2 horas.
llevando el diablo.
So after you actually identify how are you feeling today in each one of this, and not everything has the same weight. In some people are spirituality aspect has more, they're more connected to that, and that has more impact in their overall happiness. For others is their purpose, because their purpose, they kind of connect at the end with spirituality, or spirituality with their purpose. And sometimes, depending on how deep you want to go, relationships are also connected to purpose. So each individual will have priorities, let's say. For others are more focused on their physical health and how they want to show up in the world, and how they want to leave the world when they have to leave, and how much contribution they want to do. And to do that, they need to be healthy, they need to be strong, they need to be energetic, so whatever. So each individual will have a priority in terms of what is more important to them, and there's nothing right or wrong about that. It's just each individual has its own.
In the hierarchy of the T-Mobile manager that happens to be Dominican and ultra buff, he is working out hard body. Pero mira, his work-life connectivity doesn't make sense.
Or you have someone working out like there's no tomorrow and unhappy all the time. And or they feel like they're missing out on something. So, or they don't really know what they're doing. So that's kind of where we go with this exercise. So you identify how you're feeling today. And if that is in alignment on how you really want to feel, then kudos to you. But if it's not, then how is exactly that I want to feel? And we start the exercise. There's a good part of the exercise in which we encourage participants to ask themselves, how do I want to feel when I wake up in the morning?
Jesus.
That's very important.
Like, I start my day and I should already be thinking before I start my day.
That's very important, though.
And you have all this self-development, like Brandon Bouchard. I don't know if you follow them or if you heard of him.
Never.
He is in management, motivational speaker.
What's his name? Brandon
Bouchard.
Bouchard.
You will love him. Like, he is, in general, he gives tips about high productivity and high efficiency, but he's also...
I'm tired of these niggas that tell me what I'm not doing with my life.
But this one will tell you, the same way you are intentional with everything in your life, you have to be intentional with how do you want your day to be. So for that to happen, the first thing you have to think in the morning is how I want my day to be. So you really need to be intentional. How do I want to feel? Do I want to feel frustrated when I come back to this bed today at 11 a.m.? Do I want to feel like I contributed to something? Do I have a cause that really calls me? Do I want to feel strong? So you ran the New York City Marathon, which is next Sunday. But you have to be aware of how do you want to feel, and there's no wrong or right feeling. Whatever you want to feel is whatever you want to feel.
I just want to stretch and cuddle with you. Like, wow, man, my expectations and what I want at the end of the day are very, very miscued, apparently.
And that goes in your professional life.
So
Sometimes you want the promotion and you don't even like, well, you don't know the title, the corner office, the salary, and then 3 months after with the promotion, the title, and the salary, you're miserable. So what you were chasing is not what you thought. It's something else. Maybe the recognition from your parents to prove that you really can do it. Well, and that's legit. I mean, nothing wrong with that. But don't fool yourself, right?
Don't lie to yourself. Yeah.
Like, have it clear. Know what it is, and then you have the need to prove to your dad that you can do it. By all means, go do it. But don't fool yourself and don't think like, I'm doing this for my own development. No bullshit. It's not true.
Yeah, that's how did you get into that? Like, I mean, so because you said that this is now this is your passion project, right? And I'm curious. Like I'm like really I'm curious. So that's why when I was speaking, you were looking at me like, ¿Y qué lo que te tigre está diciendo?
Yeah, and when you say things, and I will say like, oh, like I don't necessarily take it like the whole truth. I will question, or I'm curious to know why things happen the way they happen, or why they are not happening. And then you get to read like a whole bunch of people, and then this is theory, and this is how it should be, and this is what I think, and then you get your own conclusions. But what really has helped me the most is leaving.
Leaving?
Yes.
Leaving what?
Where?
Living life.
Oh, living.
Not living from my place.
Where are you going?
No, not living from now. Let's go somewhere else. It's like actually living, like with noticing things, like what's going on, like
people watching.
People watching with curiosity, not with judgment, which is a different thing, right? So
that's very different. Yeah, that's true.
why do you do that? What you do? Okay, I just want to know. Not necessarily I'm judging you or considering it negative.
Yo, now Mr. Hill's lesson of the pigeons makes even more sense. Because I gotta fucking look at the pigeon that chases the bread and the pigeon that chases the tail of the other pigeon, and I at first I was looking at them with judgment, but now I am reliving that moment, looking at it with curiosity.
But I think judgment is like in us right away though. Like you have to change your mind to think like that. Curiosity first before judging, because I guess growing up, judging is like the first thing.
Because
it's survival.
It's survival type.
Yeah,
of,
because we grow up being judged, so that it's a learned
It's
behavior.
a learned behavior. So you have to learn to switch it to curiosity.
An astute mind is a curious mind. And we don't even know how to be fucking curious.
Yeah.
Coño, qué vaina.
Yeah.
We're so behind.
Yeah. So if somebody's screaming at you in the train at 7 o'clock in the morning, you don't judge them. You why is they doing that?
Yeah.
Right?
Why?
And sometimes the best course of action is to run. In
situations.
some
Just
situations,
wanna deal with.
however, asking yourself why is this person yelling or whatever the case is, it makes you more, how do I feel, like you get to feel empathy when you try to see like, oh well, they might be going through whatever, or there might be, I don't know, sometimes it's an illness, or you're out of your medication, like you don't know, right? But when you're curious instead of judgmental, you get to understand the other better, and it's not that you will accept that behavior or you will consider that positive. At least you know where that person is coming from, and you're able to understand and maybe find a better way to help them if it's your desire to help them. Because
You know what? It's wild you verbalize this, because I don't know. I did not know until you just mentioned this, and I'm going to play it back because I just forgot it. But you're mentioning this, and at first I've been very, very upset of what I used to call them junkies. I'm like, yo, these junkies fucking leaving syringes in my streets and all this other shit, right? Like, I was tight. But now I'm trying to humanize it and say, yo, these are people that are going through
whatever
troublesome situations. And when I do go out for my afternoon jogs, and I say jogs because I don't run, but
Walking, brisk walk.
Let's call it a solid power walk. And yo, you know what? Even when they're going through their shit, they take the time, because now they see me quite often, and they say, "Hey, what's going on, boss? Hey, what's up?" And I was sharing with you this morning that I think I'm gonna exchange names with these people, right? Because it's like, yo, I'm gonna get to know you, and I'm not happy about what they do, but I don't know what they're going through, right? And so I am empathetic to their situation. But specifically yesterday, as I was walking to my trail to walk, a dude is shooting up. The shit is not fucking the beautiful, Central Park, and my man's shooting up, and the dude turns to me. He says, "I'm sorry, man. I apologize. I'm doing this, but I got locked up yesterday, and I need to fucking relax." And I was just like, "Hey, man, all I did was touch my heart, and I say, I feel for you. It's all good. Stay safe." As you're verbalizing this and you're sharing exactly the tangibility behind the words and the emotion and the thought, because I do think that there's a different correlation of having a thought process and having an emotional process, but actually what you can introduce as tangibility. And maybe because of the corporate approach that you take to it, it sounds very scientific, or what's the word I'm looking for?
It's organized.
Yeah, it's just like,
organized,
it's structured. It's structured.
Yeah.
That it becomes practical. Like it becomes into it comes into practice. It changes the whole outlook on it. What you do, do you think that your practice can work for people in very difficult, impoverished circumstances? Or does this only work for people that have a certain level of even self-awareness to show up to these type of events and type of meetings? Because I can share with you that, in my neighborhood, there'd be motherfuckers that be like, "Mira, I'm not even gonna show up," and because they don't even know how to get there, or they don't even know the starting point. So do you think that your practice can work on that level too, or do you already have to be somewhat ready to accept to even go into that?
This is how I see it. If we're talking about, I don't know, addictions or physical hormonal imbalances or chemistry imbalances in your body, you need more. You need certain foundation in which you can build. Every work that every single human being decides to do, the first step always is showing up. It doesn't matter how much I want.
Even on Dominican time, right?
Even on Dominican time.
Even on
No matter how late you are.
as long as you show
No matter how
up,
late
that's
you are.
fine. Because someone else can never take you there. I can teach you. I can give you the tools. I can sit down with you. I can write it down. We can discuss. I can try to interpret what you're saying. I can do everything, but it only takes your willingness and your commitment to that. If that's not there, God bless your path. You continue, and eventually you will get where you need to get. But you cannot impose or force development or change on anyone. Anyone, and that's 100% true.
Yeah.
Please, this whole episode's gonna consist of dropping bombs. Like, una vaina del diablo.
It's true, and some people really need medication.
Yeah.
You see, so I'm not trained to that level, and obviously,
Another
and
problem.
so my people that I work with, they really need to. The first thing is that they need to understand what it's that they want, what is exactly that. And most of to your point, like people, they don't know, like, I'm not happy and I don't know what I want. That's normal. I can help
Exactly
you
how they
gain
sound.
I can help you gain some clarity. I can give you some structure so your thoughts are more organized and you can see them clearly, because from my perspective, what doesn't help clarity is a cluttered mind. And because it's so cluttered with a whole bunch of stuff, and obviously we don't take the time to actually clean it up or just try to to take
Gotta
out.
throw shit in the delete. In the
So I
recycle
can
bin.
help you to do that. I can help you gain clarity. I can give you exercises. I can sit down with you. We can have discussions that sometimes you say, yeah, like you have like aha moments, and yes, that I can do. But there are cases in which medication is needed.
Yeah.
You need it, and I don't know, some help in terms of attention or if that's the case, then this work is not that it's wasted, but you might not see results
You might
to
not
the
get that instant
extent.
gratification.
And
You're not
I
ready.
definitely understand where you're coming from, because I work with people in addiction and substance abuse, and me myself coming out of a substance abuse problem. You have to knock that off first, like before, because it comes with so much mental stress and so much mental abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like it's takes a lot of work just to get out of that position, to even know what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of, it might be medication, a lot of trauma. A lot of people go through with that. And I think you got to knock that position off first before like trying to step up and all that.
But what you can do with those individuals is to show them there's a different path. And you will be, hiciste tu trabajo.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's guiding.
it's true,
Yeah.
because if they know, thanks to you, that there's another way, that might be what they need.
But you see that, and it's, I'm only challenging the conversation because I feel that people will just always have objections, and it's just objections to overcome. Like, as I always think. However, if they're only being taught one way by their parents, their instructors, their teachers, because we come from impoverished schools, right? Those schools got teachers that them niggas is broke. They're like literally the teachers got 2-3 jobs and they're teachers, right? Then you go home, your parents got 2-3 jobs, and then I'm speaking from a child's perspective and what you're seeing, and then they're listening to, oh, mira, ve para la escuela, estudia y hazte un profesional. Nigga, that's kind of vague.
But I think now
It's
they
too
breaking that
general.
though. It's different with this generation. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much things out there in the media that old school. You got to go to school. You got
Now
it's
you
not-
have to be a YouTuber.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta have TikTok, Instagram. So that whole generation, I think, is coming to an end.
So
That whole generation.
so we're breaking that cycle.
I think that cycle's broken.
And now
already.
that's when artificial technology,
Intelligence.
takes
Yeah.
over all of our jobs.
Yeah,
And
'cause a
se
lot of
jodieron los
mothers-
mexicanos,
a
se
lot of
jodieron los
mothers-
dominicanos. Nobody got jobs.
Yeah, mothers and fathers got social media. They see what works now. You know what I'm saying? They're like,
Oh my God! Oh
You
my
know,
God!
so-
That minute in which your auntie or your grandma makes a comment on your Facebook.
And you nailed it, because yes, they are using Facebook.
yeah, they are. Yeah, and
I got on my Facebook the other day, and I was like, wow, I haven't gotten on this shit
I
in a
know.
while.
You never. That's true.
Like, I don't really care to update my Facebook.
So it's not
audience.
like go to school, get a good job, blah, blah, blah. It's like learn computer.
Yeah.
That's the new
That
thing.
is the push.
That's the push.
And
Tech.
back when I was growing up, era, mira, quítate de esa computadora.
Yeah,
Like, get off that
yeah.
computer.
Now
Like,
they push
Se
it.
te
to
va a
the-
freír el cerebro.
And I was like,
now
mira.
they push it. They push it. now, so.
I've always thought, I mean, the systemic approach always introduces consumers. And we've never been introduced to be or taught to be developers and creators. Now we're kind of shifting that, but even in however deep I dive into it, I learned that the first 10 pages only have white Swedish people, and we won't come into page 120.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about like when you do a search YouTube and all that shit. Like, yo,
yeah.
like, you might get fucking a Hindu guy teaching you how to fix a computer, and you might get the African guy telling you how to hack some shit. But we don't come up at any point. But you're right. We're breaking the cycle. We're changing.
Yeah, we're breaking
My
it.
bad. I sense your frustration now. Yeah, I'm talking about you,
Yeah.
Lady Age.
No,
for the
yeah,
people
no,
that can't
it's
see.
because it's I think this, like where you go to school, is obviously very different. There's one set that's made to be consumers and another set that's made to be workers. And that's like, it's a big systemic conversation.
Developers, creators
Yeah.
go to a very different school.
That's a different school zone.
Than fucking
Than workers.
employees.
Yeah. But there is access to the internet, but this opens like a whole
But
topic
what
of
people have the
conversation.
choice and the willpower to really look up, because niggas will
Yeah.
look up. Yo,
Yeah, true.
the amount of people that I exchange Instagrams with, and yo, their feeds are nothing but ass and titties and all that, is very, very different than somebody saying, like, "Oh, look, science."
How many of those?
It's like, it's like nil to nil. I never used the word nil, and when I used to play FIFA as a kid, I'm like, who uses the word nil? That means 0
That's you.
to 100. Look, I don't want to take up more of your time, because now we're going into an hour and a half of conversation.
Wow.
And it felt just like that. And, you broke it down in a way that I feel is tangible enough. That makes sense. And that's really what I wanted to capture from this hour conversation. And every time you look at me, I feel like you're just like looking at me like, ¿Y qué lo que tú quieres estar
No, I'm
diciendo?"
just listening. I'm just listening.
You're like listening with like fucking intent and purpose. for
taking
the
it
ones
in.
that can't see, just go on YouTube and watch this gaze.
Like this.
Were you raised in DR at all?
Yes.
Oh, you were raised in DR, and then you moved to Canada.
And then I moved to Canada. I spent a number of years in Canada. And now I'm in lovely and
New York?
kind
Lovely
New York.
New York.
Full of energies.
Full of
Energies.
energies. But it's good. It's a good experience, because all those places that I've been, it's I think all of them have contributed to how sensitive I am to culture differences and values and the judgmental thing that we spoke earlier. It's when I think people are more judgmental when they don't know much. So if you've never seen other ways of thinking, other food, other religions, then you tend to judge because you don't know, right?
Yeah.
But when you get to see like a vast array of things, then your mind literally up and up, and then you understand, this is what they do in Shanghai, but this is what they do in Delhi, and this is what they do, and it's normal. Like for everyone, it's normal. So who am I
To judge.
It takes more work.
Exactly. Like who do I think I am?
Yeah. That makes sense.
True.
That's
And
true.
so that I think that I'm very grateful for that experience. But before we actually close up today, I want to say the best thing you can do to help you or to get started, and this is like a shortcut that I give to people, it's to take some time and write a letter from your future self.
From your
I need to
futures.
do that. Oh, that's right. You emailed. You emailed. You were the first one that introduced me to that, and I heard someone else do that recently.
And it can be depending on your goals, right? 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, 10 years. It really depends. It's up to you. But what you're gonna do is that you're gonna take deep breath, you need to be calm. They cannot be while listening to Bad Bunny and having hookah, right? It has to be,
You mean to tell me I can't do this in Taekwondo?
yeah, it
should've
has
done
to
on the
be
boat
a
last night.
conducive environment. So you do that. You sit down and you will be surprised. You said, okay, this is my Chitzel in 2028, and you start writing back to Chitzel today. You will be amazed of the things that you find out about yourself, and sometimes you're even reveal the path to get there.
Wow.
And this is not
God.
boo-boo. I'm telling you, it's no boo-boo witchery. No. It's real thing. So you get to write
You're not selling me $1,000 crystal.
No, like, hey Ron, this is me in 2025. This is how my house looked like.
Oh my God.
This is my bedroom, and I'm now waking up in this environment. I wake up and I go to this place because this is what I do now for work, and I'm surrounded by this, and that, and this is what I'm having for breakfast. So it sounds silly, but it's not. You're actually creating your future. And that intelligence, which is already there, you just need to tap into it, will show you the path. But you need to make it something
Needs to be tangible.
tangible.
And make it as detailed as possible.
And not forget, because you're describing your environment, your friends, your relationship, your job, you're describing everything. But in that letter, I feel glowing. I feel strong. I feel loved. I feel seen. Whatever it is that you want to feel. Whatever. Like you could feel like in community. I feel rewarded. I feel recognized. Whatever it is that you want to feel, incorporate that into that letter and send it to you. And then you read it, you will have a lot of insight. A lot of insight. It's ridiculous.
You know what you should do to make it like even crazier? Actually mail it to yourself.
You can mail it to yourself.
You mean to tell me all the people been talking to themselves are not crazy? They're
I
just
talk to myself all the
insightful.
time.
Well, the smartest people are those who talk to themselves, not thinking, but actually vocalizing what they're saying. And listen, and I do this in the mirror. Like she said, you have to be fucking kidding.
I do that a lot.
Me in the shower, just talking to myself. I was doing that
Like,
this
no,
morning.
not happening today.
Yeah, I used to have conversations with Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is how I'm going to have my future conversation. But then she got canceled, so that shit
You
went
gotta
out the
find
window.
another one. Mindy Kaling will have her own
She got
show.
canceled? What happened? She did?
Yeah, she got canceled. She don't treat her workers right.
Yeah.
Oh, that good shit.
Yeah, she's not
It was
using
a
this
weird
strategy.
story.
Yeah.
It was.
You
it-
can't
She
be
looked like a real
white
nice person,
lesbian
though.
and get canceled in
She
today's
looked
day.
real. She real like a nice
She did the
person.
impossible.
I liked her. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was
like-
nice.
I don't see.
I
I
mean,
don't
nice
see
on
her as
camera.
being fake, right? She doesn't come across as someone fake.
That's why she has a host. I mean, she's a talk show.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right,
know.
so we will transition into. We're going into last call for words. Andre, yo, we're gonna start with you because I usually go left to right, and so we'll start with you. I'll go with Aide, and she said you'll be after
Last one.
that. Yes.
What I would say is people got to sit down. I know we live in a real fast environment and fast paced thing. I got to do it myself, and I advise other people to do it. To really sit down and see what you really want. We don't really know what we want. I need to find out what I really want and write a letter to myself. And put
But
it into
sometimes there are
fruition.
hints, because most of the time you know what you don't want.
That's a good way to start.
There we go. That's a great way to start. That's right.
Narrow it down.
That would be my first list.
There you go.
Mira, lo que yo no quiero
Exacto.
Lo que no
and then
quiero en mi
you-
vida es bam, bam, bam. And you're like, and in the mix of all that, what I do want.
I do want this. I do want that.
Exactly.
You're right.
That's a good
process.
start.
Yeah.
Process of elimination.
Process of elimination.
Mira,
That's great.
so at least we learned that much today. Thank you for sharing those words.
Anytime, my brother.
The Honorable Lovely Lady H.
I'm gonna write a letter to myself
There you go.
after this.
You have nice handwriting, by the way.
Thank you. As do you. Yeah. Yeah.
Will it be
gonna do that.
handwritten or is it going to be email?
I haven't decided yet. I feel like it might get lost in the mix with email. And also, do I set a timer on it? Like,
Oh,
You will send yourself back to spam.
Junk.
right? Maybe I'll do both. Or maybe I'll print it out and then tuck it away somewhere and find it years from now and be like, oh,
That would be good.
That'd
mi
be
amor,
dope.
look what I found.
3 years ago, and here we are.
Yeah. So I'm excited to practice this.
We have been together 3 years. And where the
Oh
fuck
my
does the
God.
time go?
Yeah,
It's just
3
like-
beautiful years.
How did you guys meet?
Oh, it's a long story.
Okay.
I was on a date with someone else.
Yeah.
My
No way,
God,
bro.
you
I didn't even
stole
know
her?
that.
He absolutely did.
Yeah, I didn't.
My
know.
man.
So we cannot trust Ron.
No. Okay, no. He had no idea for
had no idea.
for a couple months.
Yo, until the
Oh, there
nigga,
was someone I just met the week before, so I don't really count.
the
them.
nigga called my store and congratulated me and wished me all the best.
The day after we
Who?
met,
Like after
the
I met
guy I went to the party with.
and it took me like a year later to realize. So all those beautiful congratulations that nigga gave me were, fuck you, bro.
Literally. And he
Fuck
didn't
you
tell
in
me
the
that
store.
till a year later. And I was like, he didn't call you.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
so sorry he called you.
And they called me and
Yeah.
said,
Why
"Mira."
did you tell him I don't like you, I like the other guy?
I ended up.
I'm sorry, I'm being
No,
nosy.
no, no, I want to find out too. I never knew.
No, so I went. So this gentleman, he was playing guitar at an event that he had at his shop at the time, and he invited me to go. So I went, and that's where I met Ron because
Okay.
he was hosting these events. And I mean, from the moment we
Smooth
first
criminal.
met, I was
Smooth criminal.
laughing my head off, and I continue to do so to this day. And we just didn't stop talking. There's such an instant connection, and everyone left but this gentleman.
I'm like, yo,
I
Still
know.
had the guitar.
Are you leaving or
Like,
not?
He's like, so are we gonna go?
Oh,
And I told him
wow.
like, I'm staying. You should go home.
yeah, bro. I was like, yo, we got a bottle of tequila. You want to take it? Like, pero vete, papá. Like, I'm gonna tell you.
Damn.
And the nigga would not leave. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
So my man's still staying. Like, yo, what is it that you want?
I literally-
and it didn't click until like days later. I'm like, oh, el tigre estaba con ella.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you didn't know. I told you.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
actually, it didn't click till years later. I
Damn.
just thought the dude was just lingering.
Yeah. I literally
Like,
met him like
maybe
4
it's
days
a homeless,
before.
he doesn't have a place to go.
I was like, wow, I must be hosting great events. And then, like I said, the next day he called me and wished me all the beautiful things of the world. And he said, I hope you get everything you want and more. And I said, huh?
Okay.
Thank you,
setting
fucking
intentions
asshole.
for you.
Fuck you. And, yeah, and at
He
the
was setting his
time,
intentions for him.
yo, like at the time, the person that like they answer the call and they're like, oh, somebody wants to like congratulate you on all the work that you've done. I'm like, and I'm at a job and I'm like, yeah, sure, patch him through. And I'm like, hey, brother, and he's like, hey, man, I just want to wish you and tell you that you've been doing great things. And I'm like, wow, man, this is so nice. Like, thank you.
Did he play like any love songs during?
No, it was just
Like was one song dedicated to you the whole time he was looking at
the
you?
guy 4 days beforehand, or like I hardly knew him.
He slapped his guitar as soon as he get out the building.
Hardly
He
knew the
slapped
man. I wish him. I hope he's doing really well. I hope
he still got his guitar.
Shout out to him. So.
Maybe he's married with three
Hopefully,
children now, so that's fine.
hopefully.
Yeah, right. I wish him the
Yo,
best.
thank
He's
you
never
for
taking-
inviting your date to that
He's
event.
never taking anybody to
I know, seriously. Thank you for
no
taking
event.
me.
No event ever he's inviting a chick to. Yo.
Ay, poor guy. Now he might be thinking, I'm not taking another
no,
date.
Literally,
event, no
he's like, I
event.
have to date someone 2
Coffee
months
shop.
first.
Coffee shop, one
Not
on one.
taking them to an event.
Coffee shop.
No fucking
audience.
events. No
Oh my
fucking
God.
events. Oh Lord. I did not know that story. That's what I did not know.
Yeah, I think my lucky stars that he invited
Wow.
me. Yeah.
That's
And
so
you know
cool.
what's funny is that a couple months prior to meeting, my dating life was a mess.
Okay.
I was very unhappy. And a couple months before meeting him, I set a very clear intention about what I wanted.
There you have it.
You threw it up into the universe. There you go.
It was a very clear intention, and then I met him. And
Intention is everything.
yeah,
true.
goes to
There you
show,
go.
and I got what I asked for and more.
Yeah, because if you want to just like fuck random niggas on Tinder, you can get that.
You don't need intention for that. You only need internet connection, and that's it.
Like, is the Wi-Fi good? All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, dick pics all day.
Oh my god.
Wait, you got mad dick pics? I'm sorry.
No, thank God. No, but I hate them.
That's a cool story.
All that to come back to you, Chitzel. Wait, I didn't give you the applause. Thank you for sharing all that lovely story.
I'm gonna write a letter to myself.
You're gonna write the letter
Yes.
to yourself, and we'll rock from there. Chitzel, yo, thank you for everything you've been sharing with us. Because at a corporate level, you're paid 6 figures to teach this shit, and you're over here just giving this for your time
thank
of
you.
2
Yeah,
hours.
amazing, absolutely amazing.
And I would love at some point to figure out how I can do a seminar where I can feature you and introduce these values to our community, because I feel that our people just don't, they don't have any relationship to the words that you're sharing, because no one's ever shared these words with them.
No one sponsored a workshop for them for this, no?
And so I at some point I would love to do that, but I'm only sharing this and verbalizing this with you so I can put it out into the universe, and
There you
hopefully
go.
you can hear it.
I'm down. I'm
There you
down.
go.
And I'm serious. I'm serious. I do a lot of this work because I really love when I see change, and when like, oh, that hit me. Oh, you know that thing you told me the other day?
It hit me. Yeah.
That made me do this or X or whatever. So that really is
XR,
making.
what happened to Y now? No.
It depends. It depends. But that really rewards me. I feel rewarded. Like, I think that's part of my mission, because your mission doesn't have to be what you do on a day-to-day basis. You can incorporate your mission in specific things, in just being like and doing the things you. Oh, I have a hint for you now that I'm thinking. Take note of what you are doing when you're truly happy.
Oh, wow.
That makes sense.
But you're so
This
busy.
is one of the notes right here.
You're so busy doing it. You're like, I can't write this shit down. I'm living life.
But now that I told him, he will
Now I'm
remember.
gonna take note.
Yeah.
He
Memory
will
bank.
remember.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're
He
right.
will remember.
Clear the cache in your head.
Ron's a computer.
Yo, always. All right, your last words.
So my last words to everyone. I'm so happy that I was here today and that I got to share words that nobody cares. But actually, a lot of people actually care. But if I have to put something out there for people, is that actually take time for you, because we are all busy doing, and we spend very little time just trying to put the eye on the inside, and it is not wasted. When you have that clarity that I referred to previously, things, they don't get easier, but at least you are more spot on your actions, because you know exactly what you're getting. So get clarity in what you need to feel fulfilled, to feel happy, to feel brilliant, to feel glowy, whatever it is that you want to feel. But take that time to actually answer questions about yourself. Don't leave it to the randomness of the universe, because the randomness of the
chaos.
universe will bring you random
Yeah.
and not consistent results. So spend some time of that. No one is waiting for you. No need to rush, but you need to do it.
That's great.
I'm listening to you verbalize it in a very effective and efficient approach. For a very long time, all I've been sharing with myself is make sure that whatever you speak into the universe is exactly what you want, because it's always listening, and the universe will give you everything you want. But so I never attributed the universe as to randomness. It was just, it's always listening. It will give you what you want, but you call it differently. It's intent, it's purpose, it's drive, and it's seeking clarity. These are all big words that my feeble mind never understood, because just words, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
But at the same time, when you can kind of just slow things down, because life does fucking feel like it's coming at you fast, and you feel like you always got to be on the rush and do things. But that second that you can give yourself to really slow things down, it allows perspective and allows peace and allows, a feeling of, it introduces sensibility. Like, you get sense, and you can be in tune with your senses. I really don't know what I want to take away from, because I'm just mad engaged with everything you shared, because now you've introduced it into a workflow process. that I probably never thought of life as. Even though all I do is fucking pitch stacks all day for everything else. But for my life, I'm like, ¿qué es lo que yo quiero?
The most important thing.
The most important one. ¿Qué es lo que yo
But
quiero?
I've been doing like pitch stacks for everything else
Yeah.
except for my life.
But you've been doing it. You've had a flow chart. Didn't you make a chart about
Yeah.
breaking down what you wanted?
Of what I want, but I never asked myself, what do I want?
Really
Want. And you know, now I walk away from this conversation knowing less.
Yeah, that's a constant.
But because I feel I got everything, even though I know there's more to get.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like what's fucking with me internally right now, in this very second, because I do feel I have everything I've wanted. You know, my 15-year-old self, my 20-year-old self, my 30-year-old self. But I'm like, nah, pero hay más que yo puedo.
Absolutely.
But ¿qué es lo que yo quiero? Yo no sé.
Damn. There's gonna be a lot of writing tonight.
So, and it's not to take away from what I have, because at the same time I am
No.
absolutely grateful and appreciative
Yeah.
of everything.
Absolutely.
But it's now, as I said, raised more questions.
And when that happens, that you're happy with what you have and where you are at, which is great. Most of us should be there. But well, at Amazon we have this. We are always raising the bar, always raising the bar, and that's a mentality that gets ingrained in you, and higher standards. But when you're there, that you are where you think you should be, and you're happy and you're content, it helps if you ask, how can I serve better? How can I serve more people? How can I contribute better to whatever, my community? If you identified a lot and there's a cause that really calls your heart, like the Latin community with its Bad Bunny and whatever, like whoever it is, like, but how can I, being of service is raising the bar. And increasing that level of service is what actually means raising the bar.
Got it. And so, give more for less pay. Let me stop.
No, because
God.
you know what
He's
happens
just
when,
joking.
when you do that, the universe rewards you
In different
7
ways.
times 7, 700 times 7. You get paid for that work. I promise you. I've seen it.
The power of the motherfucking universe. Right?
Shout out to the universe.
And once again, like, yo, I guess for me is absolute fulfillment is just questionable, because even though I'm fulfilled, I just want to make sure that everybody around me is fulfilled. But it is attributed, I guess, to what you're sharing, the service part, and making sure that I can extend that level of fulfillment to everybody else. It's just beautiful to have the space, the mindset, the clarity, the opportunity to really allow yourself to look within. And I do feel like that shit is a privilege and a luxury, because, yo, growing up, people didn't have that. And people were not introduced to that. People were not aware of that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, shit, I'm 36 and I'm happy that I know it now, not when I'm fucking 89.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I chose 89, but I'm like,
That's a good number.
But more of the story is, this has been absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
And,
Great
and I
conversation.
appreciate your fucking
Yeah.
energy, your presence. Yo, Oz, good looking out for being audience today, man. Thank you. And this is just words. Nobody cares. But yeah.
Yeah.
We
You should care.
We
You
There was a
should
lot of
care.
good words today that a lot of people would care about. So
Drizzo, Chitzel, Honorable Lady H, this is Ron Kane signing out. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
That was so much.
That was so